Students, how are you? Welcome in your own chemistry class. We are studying here D block elements chapter 8. In part 1 and part 2, we have discussed about the general properties and electronic configuration and learning tricks of the D block elements. Now in this part, we will discuss about some special properties of the transition metals. Okay, like catalytic properties, magnetic properties, complex compounds की formation of interstitial compounds, formation of alloys and colored compounds. These are some special characteristics and very important characteristic for board exams only. One question from each topic comes in board exams. Okay, now we will start from catalytic properties. Transition metals are very good catalyst. As you know, catalyst means which enhances the rate of reaction. Okay, but why transition metals are very good catalysts? There are two reasons for this. The reason number one is there are incomplete or vacant d orbitals. Okay, and the second one is variable oxidation state. In catalysts, as catalysts, when metal transition metals behaves for this purpose, they have to change their oxidation state, sometimes increase in oxidation state, sometimes decrease in oxidation state, and they can do so. These are very good catalysts. Okay, so these metals are used their vacant d orbitals to make intermediate compounds which converts into product, and the catalyst becomes free in its original state. Example, contact chamber method of H2SO4. H2SO4 preparation is done by the oxidation of SO2 to make SO3, and this SO3 is absorbed in H2O to make H2SO4. So this is the main reaction of the contact chamber method. When SO2 is oxidized by half O2 in the presence of V2O5 to make SO3 in gas. Okay, here what is the role of V2O5? First of all, V2O5 is a catalyst. It reacts with SO2. When it reacts with SO2, then one oxygen is transferred to SO2 to oxidize it in SO3, and one oxygen is reduced in V2O5, so it reduces as V2O4, or we can say VO2 also. Here the oxidation of V2O5 of V is +5, and here oxidation of V becomes +4, means it is reduced. Now this V2O4 or VO2 reacts with this oxygen. Due to this oxygen, V2O4 or VO2 again changed into V2O5. It is the original position and in +5 oxidation state. Other example for as catalyst, Haber process to form ammonia. It is an industrial method. In this method, N2 and H2 are reacted with each other in the presence of Fe and MO, where Fe is the catalyst and MO is the catalyst promoter. MO enhances the catalytic properties of the Fe also. In Ostwald method is used for the preparation of nitric acid. In this, ammonia is oxidized to make NO, then NO is oxidized into NO2, and then NO2 is absorbed into water to make HNO3. The main reaction of this process is the oxidation of ammonia, which occurs in the presence of platinum. That is also known as Gauss catalyst. In the presence of platinum, ammonia and oxygen are oxidized into NO. So PT is also catalyst. Same here, preparation of vegetable ghee. Vegetable ghee is formed by the vegetable oil and hydrogen. The hydrogenation process of vegetable oil is occurs in the presence of nickel, Rhine-nickel, to make vegetable ghee. So these catalysts are from D block elements. Okay. Now the second property is magnetic property. Magnetic properties are produced by the due to presence of the unpaired electron. As we know that electrons move on its axis itself and in orbitals itself. Due to these two type of movements, there are two types of magnetic movements. Both the magnetic movements are added to calculate the magnetic moment, that is mu. it can be calculated by under root n into n plus 2 Bohr magneton, where n is the unpaired electrons of the metal or the element. As number of unpaired electron increases, magnetic moment increases, means their magnetic properties also increases. So on the basis of the behavior in magnetic field, the transition metals are divided into three parts: diamagnetic, paramagnetic and ferromagnetic. Diamagnetic means all the electrons are paired. There is no any unpaired electron, so the magnetic moment will be zero because n is equal to 0. Okay, then paramagnetic properties. Paramagnetic substance means there are unpaired electrons, so there should be any value of the magnetic moment larger than 0. And the ferromagnetic, there is more number of unpaired electrons. When diamagnetic substances are put in external magnetic field, these are repelled because they have no any magnetic movement, while paramagnetic substances are attracted, but ferromagnetic substances are strongly attracted. There is more and more attraction for the ferromagnetic substances in external magnetic field. In this process, the all magnetic flux becomes very far in diamagnetic substances, while in paramagnetic substances all the magnetic flux passes through the substance. Okay, and same also in ferromagnetic movements, a flux between passes through the substances. Okay, diamagnetic substances becomes lighter in external magnetic field because the all flux are far, while paramagnetic and ferromagnetic substances becomes heavier in the outer external magnetic field. We can show the diamagnetic we will see the magnetic moments of different transition metals with their electronic configurations. D configuration, when D is 0 or D10. In D0 or D10, there is no any unpaired electrons. N is equal to 0 means mu will be 0. So it will be diamagnetic in behavior. Examples: Sc plus T, Ti plus 4 and V plus 5. These are D0 configurations. Zn plus 2 have D10 configuration. D1 and D9. D1 means 1 unpaired electron and D9 means 4 are paired and 1 is unpaired. So n is equal to 1. When n is put in this formula, then the Bohr magneton value will be 1.73, and due to magnetic moment it will be paramagnetic in nature. Examples: Ti plus 3 and V plus 4 have D1 configuration, while Cu plus 2 have D9 configuration. D2, D8. D2 may be 2. There are 2 unpaired electrons in D2 and D8 also. So the value is n is 2. So the magnetic moment will be 2.83. It will be paramagnetic. Examples: Ti plus 2, V plus 3 have D2 configuration, while Ni plus 2 have D8 configuration. In D3 and D7, there are 3 unpaired electrons. So the value of n is 3 and the magnetic moment becomes 3.87 Bohr magneton. So it will also a paramagnetic. Examples: V plus 2, Cr plus 3 and Co plus 2. In D4 or D6, there are 4 unpaired electrons. So due to 4 unpaired electron, magnetic moment will be 4.90 magneton. It will be paramagnetic. Examples: Cr plus 2 and Mn plus 3, Fe plus 2 and Co plus 3. D5, all the electrons are unpaired, so the n is 5 and the magnetic moment will be 5.92 Bohr magneton. It is also paramagnetic. Examples: Mn plus 2 and Fe plus 3. So we can say that if there are unpaired electrons, the compound will be paramagnetic and are attracted in the external magnetic field. Okay, now the next property is complex formation. D block elements have vacant d orbitals, so they can easily accept the lone pair of electrons from any other substance. Okay, like any neutral compound like ammonia, N has unpaired electron. In H2O, oxygen has unpaired electron. Cn minus, Cl minus, etc. Okay, so it can form coordinate bond, and coordinate bond means the compounds are coordination or complex compound. So there are 3 reasons to make complex forms. formation. It is very important question, why the d block elements form the complex compounds. So there are three reasons for this. The number one, vacant d orbitals are present to keep lone pairs. Okay, next, the size of the cation is very small, so the positive charge density of the metal cation becomes very high. So the unpaired electron pairs can be attracted easily and can gain in their vacant d orbitals. And the third one is variable valency. According to conditions, the transition metals can change their oxidation states. Examples: K4Fe6, where it is the Fe, and Fe is forming the complex compound with cyanide. Here Cu forming the complex compound. Here Ag and Cr are making complex compounds. Next property of d block elements is the formation of interstitial compounds. As we know that all the d block elements are solids and shows HCP, FCC or BCC packing. Okay, in these packings there are some interstitial gaps between the molecules or atoms or the particle. So in these interstitial spaces, some very small atoms like boron, nitrogen, hydrogen, carbon entered and make bonds with these transitional metals. So in interstitial spaces, small atoms like boron, nitrogen, hydrogen, carbon, etc. entered and bonded. Such compounds are known as interstitial compounds. So interstitial compounds are made by the transition elements due to these interstitial spaces. Examples: titanium carbide, manganese nitride, iron hydride, etc. Due to these interstitial compounds, there are four new properties in the block elements, like they becomes chemically inactive, means more stable, good conductors of electricity, much harder and tougher, means melting and boiling points becomes more high, and low malleability and ductility. Their malleability and ductility becomes low due to the interstitial compounds. Okay, now the next property is formation of alloys. Alloys means the mixture of two or more than two metals. In d block elements, we have seen that the size of the one series or the d block elements become almost same. So one metal atom of d block element can easily replace the other element because of its same sizes. So they make very easily alloys. Okay, example: brass. In brass there is Cu and Zn. In bronze there is Cu and Sn are mixed to make alloy. Stainless steel, their iron is mixed with chromium and nickel. Due to alloys are more hard and with high melting points. Okay, but the alloys of Hg with any other transition element or any other element are known as amalgams. Like zinc amalgam, means Zn and Hg are mixed to make zinc amalgam. When Hg is mixed with any transition element, it is known as amalgam. Okay. And the last and very important property of d block elements is that they can form colored compound. Maximum of the compounds of the d block elements are colored. Why? Colored is produced only when unpaired electrons are present. So in d block element, as we know that unpaired electrons are present, so these are colored. But due to unpaired electron, color how produces? So there is the reason for the color development is DD transition. Okay, when the configuration will be D0 or D10, there will be no unpaired electrons in the metal, so their compounds will be colorless, like Zn plus 2. All the compounds of Zn plus 2 are colorless because D10 configuration. All the compounds of Sc plus 3 are colorless. Compound of Ti plus 4 is colorless because there is no any unpaired electron. Okay. Now we see what is the DD transition and why due to DD transition compounds becomes colored. So see, there are 5d orbitals in any metal or any atom. These are known as degenerate d orbitals because these energies are approximately or equal. All the energies of are equal, so these are known as degenerate orbitals. There are 5 dx5 dyz dxz dx square y square and dz square. In these 5 d orbitals, these 3 orbitals are present in the planes, while these 2 orbitals are present in axis. Okay, when any transition elements makes a compound with any cation, then the cation enters from axis or between the axis, means that between the plane. So because the coming cation anion, because the coming anion, the degenerate orbitals are split into two parts: lower energetic T2g orbitals and higher energetic Eg orbitals. These Eg orbitals are dx square y square and dz square, and T2g orbitals are dxy dyz and dxz. Okay, if there is any unpaired electron, then this unpaired electron will be excited into these Eg orbital, and for this excitation this will absorb the energy. This electron absorbs the energy from visible region. Visible light or white light is made up of 7 colors that are VIBGYOR. In these 7 colors, some colors are absorbed to transition of the d electrons, and the remaining colors are reflected. The colors absorbed by the electron are known as absorbed colors or absorbed light, while the reflected colors are known as complementary colors. If the absorbed color is violet, then the reflected color will be greenish yellow, and this greenish yellow light will reach to our eyes, and the compound is shown as greenish yellow color because we can see the greenish yellow color, not violet, because violet color is absorbed. So this is the complementary color of violet. If the compound or electron will absorb the greenish yellow color, then the violet color is reflected. Okay, so we will see the compound will be violet. If compound absorb blue color, then it will reflect the yellow color, so the compound becomes yellow. If bluish green color is absorbed, then compound will be red. The orange color is absorbed, then compound will be sky blue, and vice versa also. If this is absorbed color, then that will be complementary color. If that will be absorbed color, then that will be a complementary colors. Okay, so this is the DD transition. For this, visible light or VIBGYOR light is used and the compound becomes colored. Let's some example. Hydrated ions, their configuration. From the configuration we can see the number of unpaired electrons and what are these colors. In Sc plus 3 and Ti plus 4, 3d0 configuration represent, means no unpaired electrons, so it is colorless. Ti plus 3 have one unpaired electron, it is violet. Okay, it is the major question. Why Ti plus 4 is colorless while Ti plus 3 is violet in color? The reason, there is no unpaired electron, there is one electron, so this is violet in color. V plus 3 have 2 electrons, unpaired electron, it will be green. V plus 2 and Cr plus 3 had 3 unpaired electrons, both are purple. Mn plus 3 have 4 electrons, this is also purple. Mn plus 2 have 5 unpaired electrons, it is pink. Fe plus 3 have also 5 electrons, but the reason of the visible light absorbed is different, so this is in different color, this is yellow. Fe plus 2 of green color for 3d6 4s2. Have you seen in the lab ferrous sulfate, or known as green vitriol? Ferrous sulfate is green in color, so this green color is also known as green vitriol, FeSO4.7H2O. Co plus 2 have 3 unpaired electrons, it is also pink. Co plus 3 have 2 unpaired electrons, it is green, like this. V plus 3 was green, so Co plus 2 have same Ni plus 2 green. Co plus 2 have 1 unpaired electron, it is blue. And Co plus as Zn plus 2 have 3 d10 electronic configuration, means there is no any unpaired electron, so it is colorless. less. So we can predict the color of the compound if there is unpaired electron present or not. Thus, the properties of the d black elements are completely discussed. Now, I think you have understand the content of d block elements. Thank you.